Good afternoon, everyone. Calling to order the meeting of the Buncombe County Board of Elections for Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. Thank you, guests, for being with us today in person. Always appreciate attendance. Mr. Whitney, do we have anyone tuned in online?
Yeah, 4 through Teams.
All right, we've got 4 folks through Teams and an unknown number of participants using the public portal. All right, first item today is approval of the agenda. Everyone have a chance to give it a look? I will note before we proceed is please strike item 4. Item 4 is in fact not needed. And so with that amendment, if there's no objection, we will approve the agenda. Hearing none, the agenda is approved. AK circulated minutes earlier today. Don't know if everyone had a chance to give them a look. Yeah? Okay, good. Oh, thank you.
Do you want to look at them?
We'll just pass them along.
All right.
Read them on the fly.
All right, thank you, colleagues. Then without objection, we'll approve the minutes of the meeting of May 14th. May 17th, right. We were just here on Friday. Man, oh man, a lot of meetings. Actually, we were here yesterday, too, but that's a whole other thing. It wasn't a meeting. Hearing no objection, the minutes of the meeting of May 17th are approved. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is office.
Can you sign it?
I will. I prefer to bring it home, though. The next item on the agenda is office updates. Director Duncan.
All right, thank you. So yesterday, as you just alluded to, at 10 o'clock, we had the sample audit. It was successful. We found no discrepancies. It also only took 15 minutes. It was very fast. So that step is complete, and the results have been submitted to the state board. We also updated the schedule for you. AK is going to pass that out and collect any of your old schedules for shredding. So that has the updates that we made, and it's a reduced schedule so that not every meeting that we've already done is already on there. Hopefully easier to read. And just as a reminder, so we're going to go through this meeting today, then on Thursday evening, so we have to do that one at 5:30. That's our supplemental absentee and provisional meeting. And then, of course, canvass on Friday. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We are getting guidance from the State Board of Election on how to report this election to keep privacy, just like we did on election night for the unofficial results. So we'll make sure that we follow those guidelines, and then on Canvas we can make sure that we show how we did all that too. And we just got guidance on that today, just before the meeting actually. And then the last thing that I had on my updates, and this is, we don't need to discuss this now unless you have some immediate ideas, but we're having difficulty finding a training space. We thought that we had an arrangement with AB Tech, but that looks shaky at best right now. And so what we need is 6 weeks. That's kind of the hang up that we get. 6 weeks is a long time to take from a place. We need either 2 rooms, one that can hold 30 people with a table that has a laptop and a printer. So, it's a bigger space, not just sitting like a classroom style. We want classroom style. And then place to set up a mock polling location. What we've been doing is having 2 rooms where we have the training and then a polling location in another room. That works too. Ideally it would be in one big room, but we haven't been able to find that. So we're checking out UNCA, we're thinking about Western, I don't know if there's space at the Visitors Center at the Chamber of Commerce. That would be a really great location.
Lindor Ryan's up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. It's the 6 weeks
Yeah.
in the fall during when school is that we have conflicts with.
Could you remind us which specific 6 weeks, in case we want to
Yes.
reach out to?
It is
property
September
controllers.
16th through November 1st.
September?
Yes. Yeah, we do the early voting training and then we follow with election day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you need 2 rooms.
Either the 2 or one really big one.
What happened? Weren't we at the county? I was trying to remember where I was trained. Where were we trained?
We did have training in 40 Cox Avenue in the basement.
Yeah.
That was when most people in 40 were remote. They let us have that space.
Oh.
We're
We've done
asking
it at
again
the,
because that's a really good space, so we're requesting that again. I've already been told no once, but
That doesn't
gonna
stop
do it
you.
again.
Doesn't
Yes.
stop us.
Yes.
Are you talking about the building on the other side of the parking
Yes,
lot? Yeah, I remember
yes.
we were there.
Yep, that's a great spot for us. It's really convenient. It's big. It has all the AV that we need. It's county. We don't have to pay for it. So, and I've requested DK to ask again. So, we'll see if we can get it. And I've cited that this is legally required training. So hopefully that gives a little more weight too.
Might Lord Auditorium at Pack Library be available? That's in the basement.
Pack, yeah.
It's big,
Yeah,
It's a good idea.
and you've got space to set up a
Yep.
mock polling location.
Thank you. And then if there's any other suggestions, let me know.
Good. Thank you.
And those are all of my updates.
All righty.
One question. I'm just thinking about the audit yesterday.
Yes.
And if there were some discrepancies in the state, does that get posted somewhere?
I believe it does actually. They usually do a press release.
I would look for the press release that the state board issues upon completion of Canvas. Because the
That
state
might
board,
be in there. Okay.
that would be the place I'd expect to see detail. Now, that said, there have been some interim releases, such as the number of provisional ballots per county, that sort of thing. It's a good question, though.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to get that information out. All righty. Anyone else have any questions, comments for staff? All right, the next item is a finalized early voting plan for 2024 elections. I know that Ms. Duncan and Ms. Fox have been working really hard trying to get this thing all nailed down. Today's the day, right?
Today is definitely the day. This is the last day.
This is it, this is it. Okay. So, thank you all for going along in this adventure with us as we finalize sites. Okay, so we are back to 14 sites. As you can see, number 14, we're back at Upper Hominy. We made it happen. Yesterday, I spoke to the chief again. I explained that electioneering is something that we are mandated, explained what needs to happen, and sent him a proposed area where that could happen, which we can do that, and that's in the attachment on the second page, so you all can see. So we're using the side entrance to the building. That's the red area is the buffer, 50-foot buffer. We've got our curbside. Actually, we could put it within that buffer, which is good. And then across the way right there, we have a large flat area where all campaigning, electioneering can happen. So, they could put up signs, they could put tables, they can, whatever they want to do within reason will be allowed in that area. And then, of course, anything beyond that, they would need to make sure that they put any signs are legal in right-of-ways. So anywhere up and down Pisgah Highway, they can certainly, if it's a right-of-way, they can certainly do that. And so spoke to the chief. He seemed agreeable. He spoke to their chair and called me back that afternoon and said, "Yeah, we'll proceed with us being there." So it's a win-win.
Can you tell
Sure.
me or tell us how big is this yellow spot? Thinking
I
about
don't
two
know the
parties
measurement.
and
I want to say it's at least 20 feet by.
Well, there's a car down in the lower section you can,
oh,
yeah.
that gives me a good perspective.
Yeah.
Thank
a
you.
little
Painted
perspective.
parking space lines.
Yeah.
It's a big space.
It's a
Great.
big. It's a really good chunk of space. Yeah.
Great.
I think people will be able to spread out. Nobody has to be right on top of each other. So I think we hopefully will keep the peace.
If you've never been out there, the fire trucks are all on the other
Other,
side.
correct.
And
Oh,
they
good,
have another
okay.
entrance
Correct.
on that side.
At the
Yes.
bottom of the photo, you can see the big concrete aprons.
Right.
Yes, and so
Yes.
the Bay areas are on the opposite side, and so they have a separate entrance that can still come in and out without we would be interfering with their emergency calls.
And they're actually planning on putting a barricade here so
Yeah, I
that
was
so that people can't accidentally go drive down
Into the Bay Area, exactly. Yep. And so they will
What
make that
about the
happen.
drive up to, is that considered a right of way or is that a no?
Not the driveway, but down below on the
Yeah, on
Pisgah.
the main road.
Yes, on the main road. Yes, and they realize that. But
Yeah,
now,
that's
once
what the
you start
parties
going
need to
up on
do.
the property, they need to be electioneering and signs should be placed up here. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll make sure that we spread the word. We make these buffer zones available to the public, and I know Victoria creates packets for the parties and for candidates, and we'll include this as well, so they're aware of all this information.
All right, and
yeah.
thank you for securing this location.
Yeah, we're
I-
good.
I'm hopeful that the members of the community in that part of the county
Take advantage.
and just very grateful for the opportunity
Yep.
that you're helping
Yep.
present them. I think it's going to be very important that we counsel the political parties
Yes.
about this, because we're grateful that Upper Hominy is pitching in and helping out on this, and we want to keep this. We want to build the relationship with them, and it's going to be important for the parties to know that. The challenge is individual campaigns and electioneering entities that are not political parties. And that is a big deal in this community. And I get concerned because sometimes that's where we see the overzealousness. And I don't know what the plans are with respect to our chief judges at this site. But in any case, I hope we can have someone assist the chief judge in keeping the peace out in the parking lot so that we can continue to use this facility.
Yeah, I think that that's a conversation that we can definitely have. I think the board has expressed wanting to look at the buffer zones, so we can do that. We meet with the parties frequently enough. Karen and I do for appointments, and we can add more things. We do it for observers. So we'll definitely include this. And there's other ideas. We could put a sign in each electioneering zone that has
Yes.
our phone number that says, call us if you have conflicts. There's
Good.
things that we can do to
Yeah, we
make
are
sure we
planning to
have
do
good
additional
communication.
signage so that people know this is where this activity is happening, and concerns, please call the.
And we need some experienced election judges.
Yes, and that's gonna be we'll work on that. Trying to find the
Because
right
it's a
people.
precinct, so.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll definitely make sure. I was gonna say something else, and I also might reach out to some of the clubs I know that kind of go out and do promoting their candidates
Right.
in some of these places. Kind of get a heads up on that as well too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that they're aware of, hey,
Good.
this is what we're trying to do, and to kind of follow those rules, especially with their signage. Sometimes they want to make sure they follow the rules.
Well, yeah, because, some people, they just go post signs at, 11 o'clock midnight, and there's nobody there to tell them otherwise.
Correct.
So
Yep,
communication before
it's gonna be key.
early voting starts is,
Yeah, it's gonna be key.
really
Yep.
important.
And then if you notice on number 8, we did I did not, that's where, the good news, now the bad news. So I did not get, I was not able to contact someone or speak to someone at Reynolds Village in order to renegotiate the electioneering aspect. They did not permit it before, and so we were trying to see if they would, and that just didn't happen. So we are, we're proposing we go to the library, the North Asheville Library, and work with them, and hopefully, again, if the renovations can be coordinated around the month of October, November, then we will be great. Let's hopefully we can make that happen. And we're pretty persuasive in this office. So, but yeah, so the plan is here. So 14 sites. Here's the map with the current location of all of those. Hours of operation. You all have already approved those. Those are on the back. None of that changed. We're still doing the 2 Saturdays, 10 to 3, the last Saturday 8 to 3, and the one Sunday, 10 to 3. And then our inclement weather, we've incorporated that into here. This is exactly following what we did for the primary, and that was that we will follow the county's directives. So if any public offices or county libraries close or operate on a delay schedule due to inclement weather, that's what we'll do. And then it'll be our responsibility to ensure that all the sites are aware, and we communicate that to the public. And then if there are partial closures, it could be snowing, west but not east, or north but not south, then the board will be required to meet and make those decisions based on the different scenarios that might occur due to the weather. But other than that, this is our plan. This is what we're ready to submit to the state board with you all's approval.
Thank you, Ms. Fox.
Okay. You're welcome.
Colleagues, questions, comments? I would entertain a motion then to approve the early voting plan that's been recommended by staff.
Are you asking one of us to do it?
I would love to have a colleague.
I would love to be the one that is on record that
Ms.
said
Stein,
that I
thank
am.
you. Thank you. The
have a
motion before the
for that.
board is to approve the staff proposed early voting plan for the general election of 2024, including 14 early voting locations, the hours, which we've already discussed and approved, and the inclement weather policy that we've already discussed and approved. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Any discussion before?
Oh, discussion, please. Yes, discussion.
Yeah, I want to discuss how thrilled I am that you put this thing together. And also, Nikki, on the fly there, when we suddenly realized that we had to make an adjustment according to devotional disclosures, and you grabbed that thing, and thank you very much. So,
Yes, ditto.
Thank you, Mr. Aceto, again, for the devotional reading. We try to keep getting better all the time, and I deeply appreciate you putting the spotlight on those sections of the law for us.
well, next time I'll try not to wait. I just looked at it and went, oh, holy cow.
It's never late to get up to date. You're there. Thank you. All right, there is a motion before the board. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Thank you. The motion carries 5-0, which is just the way the State Board of Elections likes it. In fact, they insist. Again, well done. All righty. Well, as I look at this agenda, it seems that the only thing left is to remind everyone that next meeting is Thursday, May 23rd at 5:30 in this room. Thank you, guests, for being with us today. Anyone have any questions or comments for the board or staff? Holly?
That Harmony Fire Station, is that the one on 151?
Yes, it is.
What's the difference in upper and lower Harmony?
One's higher.
Elevation. Yeah. Elevation.
You knew that was coming.
I asked you that, didn't I?
Up the valley and down the valley.
They're pretty close together, but lower is just enough room for a few trucks. There's no room there to do anything else.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And just FYI, I'm hoping I can be here in person Thursday, having a procedure done tomorrow. So So we'll see. But I'll be on, definitely Zooming if I can't be here in person.
Thank you, and best of luck to you on Thursday.
you.
Absolutely.
All right, if there is no more business to come before this board, the meeting is adjourned, everyone. Thank you very much.